I'm so excited to be back here, Radio Row, Atlanta, kind of the calm before the storm, and thrilled to be joined right now from New York City. So we kind of traded places. Eric Decker, longtime wide receiver, joined us on behalf of our friends at Horizon Organic Protein Milk. I actually buy that for my children. Eric, thanks for making time, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on.
All right, you've got some unique insights on this Patriots team. You played against them a lot of times in your career, and you actually signed with them this past summer before retiring. That combination of an insider's look and an opponent's look, what is it that makes this organization so ridiculously consistent and great?
Well, I think it starts at the top. They got a great owner, Mr. Kraft. Bill Belichick will go down as probably the greatest coach in the NFL, in my opinion. Tom Brady, at the helm, you're going to win a lot of ball games. But just that combination, and spending time in the locker room, sitting in meetings. I think I digested and learned more football in that short time, 2 weeks, than most of my career. And then just the guys in the locker room, they understand what their job is, what their role is. They got a great system that they do over there, and the way they train. They get themselves physically and mentally in shape to last this long, and that's why they're in this big game.
We talk about the Patriots way all the time with awe, and for almost all of us, we talk about it with an outsider's perspective. You got that glimpse inside. You gave us a little perspective just now on what that looked like, what that felt like. Was it as palpable as people would expect? Does it feel different when you're a Patriot with that culture than other places you've played?
Yeah, I've been on my fair share of teams, and I know what a winning organization looks like and what a losing organization looks like. And when I was in Denver those last couple of years with Peyton, it was the same as what it was like in New England. You could tell that the discipline is unlike anything. If you're not going to do it the Patriots way, you're not going to be in that building. That's the mindset. And everyone understands their role. Everyone knows what expectations are. And it's the little things, the details that matter. So the preparation throughout the week, not making the same mistakes over and over, respecting one another, and kind of understanding what it is that's going to get you to the long haul. It's not winning, in September or October. It's conditioning yourself to win in December, in January, and get yourself to the big game. And that's why they separate themselves from a lot of teams, because they've consistently done it, and they've had the right people in place.
Eric, you referenced the Broncos. You played in the Super Bowl. You know what this week is like. Let's just start with, today is media night, and we'll have coverage here on CBS Sports HQ the whole way, including a live media night show, and it just becomes a bit of a zoo. If you were talking to Sean McVay, that organization, some of those players, guys that have never played in this game before, what would your advice be about just trying to stay as focused as you can with the circus swirling around you?
Well, I think, as most athletes are, you got to find that routine. And you have a weekly routine throughout the season, what makes you comfortable, what gets you prepared for the Wednesday through Friday practices, how you get ready for the weekend game. And I think trying to simulate that in a different environment, it is harder when you're in a hotel, you're practicing in a different facility, everything's a little bit different. But, if you can try to do things the same way, it makes the week not seem as chaotic, like you said, because you got to go and talk to more media throughout the week than you ever have. You got to do and be obligated to do different things outside of your normal responsibilities as a football player. And just, the heightened hype, attraction to the game is another thing to handle. So I think for me, it was, trying to make the week as consistent and similar to what it was like for us at home.
And when you do step on that football field, and it is a Super Bowl, and all of that is behind you, and the most important football game of your life is in front of you, how does the game feel differently, and how long, at least in your experience, until it felt like just another game between the lines?
I think once kickoff happened, it started just to feel like another game, because you got the butterflies out, the prolonged introductions and pregame stuff, and then the biggest difference as well is the halftime. You're in the locker room a little bit longer, so trying to occupy yourself mentally to really stay in it, and keep yourself loose for the second half. But otherwise, once you're in between the lines, I mean, it's just another football game, and trying to do your best to put up some points.
All right, Eric, this next question is easier said than done. If you could bottle up the answer, you could make a fortune. But I'm going to ask you, for the Rams, what does a successful game plan against this Patriots team look like?
They got to play their style of football. You know, you saw it when they're in New Orleans, and the crowd noise was a factor. If you can slow LA down, I think you have a very good chance against them. And stop the running game. But if they're playing at their pace, getting to the line, really making their calls and their checks, that's when they play their best football. And so both teams can put up a lot of points. Both teams have good defenses, good fronts. So I think it's controlling the line of scrimmage, and probably for LA, because they have younger players and Goff at the helm, running the ball, get them comfortable, and then just playing their style of football, which I think is at the line a little more fast-paced.
We live in an era of quarterbacks, whether it's Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, most would agree, the greatest of all time. Sean McVay, celebrated for a lot of reasons, including his ability to be really creative with the passing game. But there's some running backs and some running games here that could be really critical. Todd Gurley, C.J. Anderson for the Rams, and Sony Michel's been incredible as a rookie in the postseason. How much do you think the run game should and will impact what happens on Sunday?
I think it's going to be a big factor. You saw New England throughout the season. They rely on their running backs, and Sony came on there at the end and really, started to take charge. They got White, who catches the ball in the backfield better than anybody. And then, LA's got two running backs that went over for 200 yards last game. So I think you're going to see both teams try to establish the run, figure out, what they're doing defensively, because it's a longer gap between game and game. So the game plans are more extensive. They might throw some new things at you. So I feel like that's a good way, again, to establish the game and figure out where each team is, kind of like a chess match.
All right, before I ask you about Horizon Milk, it's the required and difficult to answer prediction question, especially this particular. I think this game is a tough one. It feels like the handicap. But who, your best guess, Eric Decker, who do you think comes out on top on Sunday?
You're right. That's a tough question to answer. But I feel that it's an evenly matched. I want a good entertainment game. I want some points scored. I want it to be close. I will say, though, being more invested with New England, being in the locker room, getting to know the guys personally, being around them, I'm rooting for them. I will say, though, I think it's going to be in the 30s, high-scoring game. New England pulls it out.
All right, so behind you is a look into my fridge. I got 2 kids. My wife searched and hunted milk like she was on an epic quest. And this is true. We settled on Horizon. Tell us, I swear that is an absolute truism. Tell us about what you're doing with Horizon.
That's good. I love that. I partnered up with Horizon, and it's very kind of organic partnership for me because I grew up in Minnesota, and my family were farmers. I used to go to my grandpa's house in the summer, my uncle's house, and feed the cows, milk the cows, and we'd be drinking right from the cow itself. So I'm the same way you are. Health is a big thing in our household. My wife is all about getting the right ingredients, the right things in our kids' bodies. So Horizon just came out with a new high-protein organic milk, and it's delicious. And it's a way for us to sneak in the protein in their diet. 27 years in the business, they pioneered in the organic space. So I know I trust them and their product, and so ultimately it just felt like the right fit to be here promoting their product.
Eric Decker, I really enjoyed the conversation. I know it's getting cold up in the mid part of the country in New York. Try to stay warm. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Bill.